Good morning. Hey, what a great weekend we had. I'll take just a minute and talk about the last couple of weekends. 2 Sundays ago, we had our Friends Sunday, and dozens of first time visitors and people were saved. It was just a great, great day. And the Lord was really blessing in a lot of ways. And then this Sunday, we had our Roundup Sunday, just kind of a fun day. A lot of people dressed up, cowboy dress, and we had a big barbecue at our normal Sunday school. Then we had a big outdoor service and a good crowd. I don't know exactly how many, kind of spread all over the parking lot. We had a lot of, it was hot. We planned it because November is going to be nice and cool. The only concern maybe be too cold, maybe rainy. Yeah, it was 90 or 85 degrees or something. And if you were in the sun like I was, and a lot of people, it was a little warm. If you're in the shade, it wasn't bad, but there was some shades we put up around. But a great day. We had a best beard contest, and we got a picture of a bunch of beard growing guys up there, and then we had a great barbecued lunch. People brought food. Wow, did we ever have good food? Just really, really good stuff. And everybody ate to their heart's content. And some people brought food home. There was extra, and that was good. And then we went in to have church. Evening service was at whatever time it was, 1 o'clock or so, I guess. And that again, it was time change Sunday, so it was easy to get up and be on time to church, and it was a good day to not go late. I remember time change Sunday night service, people are starting to nod off a little bit. Well, Sunday evening church was 1 o'clock after the barbecue, and then we had our service inside because it was pretty warm, so we moved inside, and then we had our victory rally. Just a fun time, just a really fun time, and had a great offering. We're trying to do a facelift on our buildings, and it's just old, and the windows, most of the windows in our building are there. They're the ones we put in when the building was condemned, and we'll just say that a lot of things need replaced and upgraded. But it was, anyways, a good offering and generous people, just the best of people, and I'm so thankful for our church and for my staff. If you came and enjoyed the day, I hope you would express your gratitude towards some staff member. I mean, secretaries and the pastoral staff and different people. There's a lot of work goes into a day like that. Just the music, hours of putting together we had a jug band if you weren't there, and it was, I don't know how quality the music was, but it was fun. Juice harp, two washboards, a jug, a banjo, a guitar, a stand-up bass, a fiddle, a harmonica, and it was just a good day and the whole day. But honestly, fun is hard work for the people in charge, and I just want to say my staff did a great job. With the holidays coming up, let me make a plug for my staff. Pick a staff member and do something nice for them. Get them a restaurant gift card, get them a gas card, whatever. Do something nice. We have a great staff, and they are tireless. They really are. And I think if you are good to the staff, and I mean, I know God's got a will and a plan, but you don't want to lose any of these staff. Our staff members, they're amazing, and be good to them. And I hope you'll think about them during the Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So anyway, we're a couple weeks. This weekend is family weekend. We're just talking about the home, honoring the home. I'm preaching on the home, and not just if you're single, living alone, you could still be there at church. So I won't leave you out of the sermon. I'll think of something to preach at you. But we're going to have some fun things, and it'll be a fun day. And our children are all going to come up and sing. And that'll be great. Teen choir sings almost always on Sundays, and it'll be just the whole day will be fun. Then the following Sunday is All In Sunday. You'll hear more about that later. And the next Sunday is when we take church to the community. We're going to be in a dozen or maybe more services scattered all around the community. Services from 10 or 20 people to 50 to 300 people. They're just all different sizes. We never know till we get there, really. Every year it's different. But we bring church out. We give away turkeys and grocery gift cards. We used to give away groceries, but people are so different. And when we first started, we were being very traditional. We're giving away pumpkin and things that would go along with making a pumpkin pie. And a lot of people, they don't know how to make a pie. They can go to Costco, and for $5 they can buy a pumpkin pie. So we were trying to customize the bags and thought, give them a $25 gift card to the grocery store. So if you'd like to help with our day Sunday before Thanksgiving, then I want to encourage you, just bring a gift card, throw it in the offering plate. And it wouldn't hurt if you wrote on it. That would probably be a good thing. Or put it in an envelope, mark the envelope, or if you could write on the card, whether it's 25 or 50 or whatever dollars. But groceries are expensive, you know that. And so we're going to bring church out, and we'll just say we'll tell people in the community we're going to have a Thanksgiving service in the park right next door to your apartments. And while we're there, we're going to give away some grocery gift cards and some turkeys. And so hopefully people will buy some turkeys and bring them, and some people bring gift cards. And every year. We've been doing this for I don't know how long, decades. And it just always is a special time. And a lot of people, probably several thousand people, will hear the gospel that would not have heard the gospel that day had we not been there. And so you can be a part of that. And I wanted to mention just a couple things about the book of Judges. And in the book of Judges, there's a theme that goes all the way through the book of Judges. And it's right at the end of the book is repeated in Judges 21:25. In those days, there was no king in Israel. And every man did that which was right in his own eyes. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. And that's the theme, I believe, of the book of Judges. Because the people of Israel went in and working their way into their new cities and all, and then they just started ignoring the Bible, ignoring the commands of God. And so they got in trouble. They were put in bondage, and some heathen king would bring them into subjection. Well, then they'd cry out to God. And when they cried out to God, in every case, God sent a judge or a general or a priestly leader, somebody to lead them spiritually and militarily. And then as long as that leader lived, the people did right. And you'll see that if you read the book of Judges. And as long as, Ehud or Gideon lived, the people did right. And then when they died, then the people got off track again. Leadership is so important. I mean, vitally, vitally important. When there is no king, no leader, then people do it. It's like mom and dad being gone. You leave the kids alone. Not a good idea very often unless you're really disciplined. We had good parents, and we weren't going to do too much wrong, but we'll always bump the borders a little bit when mom and dad aren't around. And we need to remember that when there's no leader, how fast would you drive if there was no police around? If you knew there were no police, I know this, I don't speed. I don't speed very much, maybe a few miles over the speed limit, but I might go 2 or 3, 4 miles over the speed limit, but I'm careful. I've never had a speeding ticket yet. It's very possible to get one, but not yet. But if someone said there's no one giving tickets on Thursday of this week, I would probably drive fast just to see what it's like to drive fast. And there'd probably be a lot more accidents that day. But when there's no king, when there's no authority, people do what they want to do. They do what they think is right, and it is not a good thing. And again, the thought is these people weren't doing wrong on purpose. They were doing what they thought was right. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. And you've watched a ball game. There's a referee makes a call, and you say, that was a stupid call. I could see it. That's you doing what you thought was right in your eyes. Only you're not the ref. You can't change anything. You can holler at the referee if you want. You looking at the TV. You could yell at that TV all you want about the bad call, but still that's the call that stands, because why? They're the leader. They're the king. And I want to encourage you when you think about that, be careful where you put your kids in school. You're picking your kids' principal, you're picking your kids' teachers, you're picking your kids' coach. Of course, also you're picking their friends and a whole lot of other things. But we can't just do what we think is right in our own eyes. I can't go and put my kids in a school and then every day fight with the teachers and the principal. That's their school. I chose to put my kids in that school. That's why we have private schools. A great privilege we have in America to have private schools. And I would urge you to pull your kids out of that public school and find a private school that would teach your kids what you want them to learn. Do you want them to learn patriotism or communism? Do you want them to learn old-fashioned morals? Or do you want them to learn this crazy new immoral lifestyle? But when there's no leader and every man does what's right in his own eyes, the book of Judges tells you it's horrible. It is a moral mess. It's a civil mess. It's a religious mess, because you can't have everybody doing what they think is right. Picture, we're at church, and the thermostats are scattered around the auditorium. If everybody, when somebody's cold, they go change the thermostat. Somebody gets too warm, they change it. Well, you'd have people moving those thermostats all through the church service because we're all different, and because we got a church full of women, and some of them are hot all the time, some of them are cold all the time. Speakers, people start yelling at the PA man. And this person doesn't have their hearing aids not working real good, and they will turn it up, and this person, they can hear fine, it's blasting them out of the way, and somebody's got to be in charge. And so in a church, the pastor's in charge, and then he puts people under him in charge of various areas, and then there's a PA guy, there's ushers, and all those kind of things. And somebody's got to be in charge of this stuff. So I think those ushers, what a dumb way they passed a plate for communion or for offering. Well, as soon as you're in charge of the ushers, open your mouth and tell them be still. It's not our job, and we ought to be so guarded about that. See, Satan loves it when we start pushing our opinions when it's not our area. It's called anarchy. It's called dissension, division. And it's not what we should do. But at work, there's a boss at work, or there's a shift manager, there's a foreman. Follow them. They're in charge. Do it their way. And if you do, in some cases, maybe the person down the chain of command does know more. Well, if that's the case, you go with respect and say, I'm not sure you want my opinion, but if you do, I've got a thought or two on this. And if they don't want it, they don't want it. It's not your problem. It's their problem. They're the one in charge. They're the one that's going to get blamed. Leave it in their hands. And I want to encourage you. There was a time when I was a child that you'd hear it all around. If you get a spanking at school, oh, for the days when people got spankings at school. And that was how it happened. Every school spanked kids. We learned to obey and to do what we were told. But the rule was if you got a spanking at school, you got a spanking at home. And everybody knew that. Now, everybody might not do it, but every home knew that little colloquialism. Because the parents at home were going to back the teacher. They weren't going to attack the teacher at the word of a student. What a silly thing to act like your child's some saint and could never make a mistake. But so with school, honor the leader. If you can't honor the leader, then pick a different school. With your job, honor and follow and respect the person who's in charge. If you can't, then go work somewhere else. But don't be a troublemaker. Don't cause divisions. That way with church. In marriage, if my kids weren't doing what my wife told them to do, I'd say you're gonna honor your mother, and I'm gonna back mom, and you're gonna honor her and do it her way, and I'm gonna push my kids to authority. And if a wife is wise, she will push her kids to honor and obey the husband, and she will be the example. She will also honor and obey the husband. And I know that's politically incorrect, but it's scripturally very correct. And so let's be very guarded. We don't want a society where there's no leader. Because if there's no leader, everybody does what they think is right. Take our church. We're remodeling the buildings. We had a great offering for that. And to help with it, we could double. If we doubled it, it would be good. But we're going to do what we can with the money we've got. But what color should they be? What style should they be? Decisions on lighting, decisions on doors and windows, and all these decisions. And we can't have 200 opinions. You just can't. It'll be crazy. And so we put people in charge of things. And I rarely make a decision. I know people accuse me of being the boss, the dictator, but that's just never. That is not the case. You'd be hard pressed to find ever. And there are probably some times, but it's rare. But I'll go to the secretaries. I'll go to some of the teachers, or I'll go to some of the staff, or all the staff. And what do you think about this? I was going to take, and just give you an example. This week, I was thinking about, just because it's been a good fall and people have been busy, I thought I'm just going to take the staff, at least offer to take them to lunch one day. And my wife and I were eating out, and we like this place. It's a casual place. It's Rubio's Fish Tacos, and it's a place we've gone a couple times. And I thought, well, you ought to bring the staff here. Well, I could just do that. I'm the boss, and I was going to pay for the lunch or the dinner, so I could just do it. But at a staff meeting this week, I said, hey, who's been to Rubio's, and do you like it? Well, if they don't like it, why would I take them there? And it's not just all about me, and I wanted to hear from them. And it's that way with 1,000 areas. I'm not the one that's going to make, and I'm going to make the theological decision when it comes to the Word of God. That's my responsibility before God. But I don't think God cares that I take our folks to McDonald's or Rubio's or Sizzler. And it's just that you got to realize we're flesh and everybody's got opinions. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Without the king, every man does that which is right in his own eyes. They're not bad people. They're doing what they think is right. And then read the book of Judges and see the depravity and the mess because there was no leader. Make sure. Here's a question to ask yourself. Am I in charge? Am I in charge of this home? Was I given the authority to run this shift at work? Am I the boss in this position? Am I the what? And that's like with our president. We got a president, and the buck stops with him. And I may not agree with everything he says or does, but so I've never met a president I agree with everything he says or does. Some of them I don't agree with anything they do, but I'm not going to go try and beat up or attack the president or his people. No way, just no way in the world. Now let's don't follow politically correct thinking. Follow Bible thinking. Bible thinking. And let's make sure we have a good leader. Pick a good leader. If the leader is revealed to not be a good leader, then go find a good leader. Find you a good leader. Don't find a leader that thinks like you all the time. That's you being the leader. Because you're not going to find someone that always thinks like you. And find a good leader, and then you be loyal, and you follow that leader, and you point your kids. I love the story. Dr. Howes, our pastor, he's been in heaven for 20 years now. He'd be in his 90s if he was alive. But he told a story. He was at a tent revival as a little boy with his mom, and it was near holiday time, Christmas time, and New Year's time, getting close to New Year's. And this pastor, this evangelist, running up and down, hollering, yelling on the second coming, and Jesus is going to come, and if you're not saved, you're going to go to hell. And at one point, the preacher said, Jesus is coming before New Year's Eve, and you need to get saved. And Dr. Howes, his little Jackie boy, they called him, he looked up his mom and said, is that true? Is Jesus coming before New Year's Eve? Well, what do you say? She said a brilliant statement. She said, that's what the preacher said. She didn't have to validate him or invalidate him. That's what the preacher said. And of course, the pastor found out as the years went by, Jesus did not come before the end of the year. But you know what the mom did? The mom established we're gonna listen to the leader, and not if he says go get drunk or go rob a bank. That's stupid. But we're gonna follow the leader, and we're gonna honor the leader as he honors God. And what a great life! I tell you that I could speak for a long time on this matter of authority and how my life has been so blessed because I've listened to parents, coaches, teachers, pastors. I can't think right now of any time any leader advised me that it wasn't good advice. At the time, whether I'd agree with them or not, maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't have. But now looking back, oh, I'm glad I learned to listen.